Happen if he, Shan, suddenly stopped being the other's obedient underling and demanded a few explanations here and now? Only Shan knew enough about men to also know that he would not get any information out of Thorvald that the latter was not ready to give, and that such a showdown, coming prematurely, would only end in his own discomfiture. He smiled wryly now, remembering his emotions when he had first seen Ragnar Thorvald months ago, as if the officer ever considered the likes, dislikes, or dreams of one Shan Lantee. No, reality and dreams seldom approach each other. Dreams. On any of those shoreline maps, he asked suddenly, do they have marked a mountain shaped like a skull? Thorvald thrust with his pole. Skull? He repeated, a little absently, as he so often did in answer to Shan's questions, unless they dealt with some currently important matter. A queer sort of skull, Shan said. Just as vividly as when he had first awakened, he could picture that skull mountain with the flying things about its eye sockets, and that too was odd. Dream impressions usually faded with the passing of waking hours. It had a protruding lower jaw, and the waves wore red and purple rock. What? He had Thorvald's complete attention now. Where did you hear about it? That demand followed quickly. I didn't hear about it. I dreamed of it last night. I stood there right in front of it. There were birds, or things flying like birds, going in and out of the eye holes. What else? Thorvald leaned against his pole, his eyes alive, avid as if he could pull the reply he wanted out of Shan by force. That was all I remember, the Skull Mountain. He did not add his other impression, that he was meant to find that skull, that he must find it. Nothing, Thorvald paused, then spoke slowly, with a visible reluctance. Nothing else? No cavern with a green veil? A wide green veil strung across it? Shan shook his head. Just the Skull Mountain. Thorvald looked as if he didn't quite believe that, but Shan's expression must have been convincing, for he laughed shortly. Well, there goes one nice, neat theory up in smoke, he commented. No, your skull doesn't appear on any of our maps, and so probably my cavern does not exist either. They may both be smoke screens. What? But Shan never finished that query. A wind was rising in the desert to blow across the slit which held the river, carrying with it a fine shifting of sand which coasted down into the water as a gray haze, coating men, animals, and raft, and sighing as snow sighs when it falls. Only that did not drown out another cry, a thin cry, diluted by the miles of land stretching behind them, and yet carrying that long undiluted howl they had heard in the Throg camp. Thorvald grinned mirthlessly. The hound's on trail. He bent to the pole, using it to aid the pace of the current. Shan, chilled in spite of the sun's heat, followed his example, wondering if time had ceased to fight on their side. This concludes Chapter 5.